Okay. Hey, everybody. This is Jim Grzanzio from the Oracle Groundbreakers team, and we're in Hyderabad, India today at the Sangam 19 conference. And I'm here with Malay, Kumar, Khawas.
Yeah.
Malay, welcome.
Thanks, Jim. Welcome to Hyderabad.
Thank you very much. I got in a couple of days ago, very, very late, but I feel energized tonight, actually today, because there's almost 1,000 people in there actually inside right now. So there's a lot going on. And I met you in the hallway a little bit earlier. I've known you for a couple of years now. And you said you're doing 3 talks at the conference here. So tell me what you're talking about.
Yeah. So the first one that we are doing today is a hands-on lab with Python, with autonomous transaction processing, where we are going to do the visual basics, and also we are going to integrate the real-time geographical location mapping with autonomous transaction processing, so that in terms of security, in terms of fleet movement, that is going to be helpful. The second talk that I'm talking about is on my favorite one, is how do you take your workload to Oracle Cloud, right? So I'm talking about 18 different methods of migrating your Oracle database to Oracle Cloud. And the third one that we are doing is again a hands-on lab, where we'll be demonstrating step by step, where we'll show using DR to cloud strategy how do you migrate a database from on-premise to Oracle Cloud using near zero downtime. There is a tool available called JetDM. We're going to talk about that as well, which is zero downtime migration utility. The Ricardo Gonzalez from Oracle actually has put in a lot of hard work in that. We're going to demonstrate that tool and see how it is helping the customers in terms of doing the real movement.
Excellent. So, what type of a reaction are you expecting from these talks here? In other words, what's the message that you want to get through to people? Is it simplicity? Is it complexity? Is it, what do you want the response to be?
Yeah, so it is like, technology shall bring the simplicity. It shall not make it more complex. And when I see Oracle Cloud, it is in the back end, the complexities are too much, but when when you come to the front end, when you come to the real user experience, it is much more simpler there. So if you see the developer cloud, okay, it is you can build something in developer cloud real quick in 30 minutes. If you see Apex, you can build your website in probably less than few hours, which is like amazing. But the backend tool is complex, the front end is simple. That's what the Oracle message is. It's simple, it's reliable, it's secured cloud.
That's what I was getting at, because sometimes when I hear conversations in the hallway, there's a little apprehension of people jumping in. That's why I wanted to know, what do you expect to get from those talks, from people's reactions? Because from what I hear you guys talking, you engineers talking, there is a certain simplicity that's already there, but people have to engage.
Yes. So that is one part. Like engineer to engineer engagement is always a fascinating affair, where you basically talk to the engineers directly, show them the simplicity of the technical terms that Oracle has actually developed. The inbuilt security that Oracle Cloud is actually providing, which is excellent, which I don't see majority of the cloud provider is actually failing on. And that's where Oracle Cloud is going to have the first hand on it. The Oracle Cloud is the most secured one.
Okay, so this is my first Sangam conference, and I would imagine since you live here, you've been to a few of these.
Yeah, Sangam is kind of, it's the largest Oracle user group conference here, and as you see, like there are 1,000 plus attendees here, right? And close to thousands, and the energy here it happens one year in Hyderabad, another year in Bangalore, but the energy that you see in terms of the delegates who comes, the guys who comes to join the session, they have a hunger of learning. They try to understand what's the problem they are facing in terms of their daily work. They try to talk to the experts, they try to talk to the speakers, and then find a solution. And it's not ending here. I've been able to build my personal connection in terms of this technology world through these kind of conferences. It's fantastic here.
It's very interesting, because the keynote was actually earlier this morning. It was 600 or 800 people in there. I don't know what the final numbers of the conference are, because it's a 2-day event, and people obviously are coming. Obviously will come and go each day. But have you noticed any trends from, say, a couple of years ago until now in terms of this conference? Is it the same? Is it changing? Is it evolving?
Okay.
What's happening?
Okay. So in terms of technology, when we are talking, the technology itself is changing a lot. Like I'm able to see the growing number of interest in terms of the delegates. Okay, the reason behind that is the way the technology is changing. The amount of learning that we are doing on day-to-day basis is much higher than what we used to do 5 years back. So in terms of Sangam, I have noticed the same. Now the guys who actually comes with a lot of technical interest, comes with a lot of networking interest with their peers, with the technical experts, so that they can gain out of it and then implement that in their workplace. So it's a kind of, I'm seeing that interest level is changing too much, and the number of delegates definitely is increasing. When AOIG got established, 10 plus years back, it was like with a very small number of group in very few cities. Now it has grown up to 10 different cities in India, and that is fantastic. Like, if you remember, we did the Jatra, we did in 10 different cities, and it's growing. The Oracle community in India is growing, and growing in a very fast way.
Yeah, this is the Oracle Groundbreakers Yatra, which means tour or journey. We did it in July. I did 6 out of the 10. I just couldn't handle the other 4. But you guys are planning, I think, 12 next year. Right? So maybe I'll do 10 next year instead of 12. One of the things I learned on the tour in July was that the audience makeup is in terms of the user base of the community is changing a little bit. There's more developers now. And also the DBAs are actually embracing more development training. Can you talk a little bit about that?
Yeah, so it is like, as we always say, right? A DBA without a development knowledge is incomplete. A developer without a DBA knowledge is incomplete. And that's the change I have seen that is happening. Like I started my career as a DBA, then jumped into developer, then come back to DBA. I got that chance. But now there is, it is like, for every candidates, by force they are adopting it, because the way the technology is changing, if you don't know the basics of development, if you know how actually a developer works, your DBA knowledge is actually incomplete. The same is true for the DBAs as well. Ultimately, a system that is built up by the developers, and as a DBA, if you don't understand what was that developer's perspective, solving a challenge sometimes becomes difficult. So amalgamation of the development knowledge and the DBA knowledge is what is becoming important these days, and that's what we have also noticed. I have seen that specifically on the grads, they are coming like this year or 3 years or 4 years back. They are like the fantastic resources of DBA and development together, which is like good for the complete community, good for Oracle as well.
Oh, you mean so graduates from school?
Graduates from colleges, yeah.
All right, so you get 3 sessions here today. Actually 3 all day today.
3 all day today, yeah. So I have like 5 hours talks today. It would be a crazy day, but I'm geared up for that.
Well, nothing to do then tomorrow, then, right?
Nothing to do. So tomorrow, my complete part would be to network with people, to see what people are talking about, what they are interested in, and how the other speakers are talking. Because sometimes we miss that. Like, if you go as a speaker, you don't get that chance to see what other speakers are talking about. So tomorrow, my complete agenda would be to meet various people, to build the network, to understand what the complete user community is actually doing.
That's really an interesting point, because if you are speaking or if you have a specific role in an event, you are highly focused on that particular thing. If you have nothing to do in terms of a speaking role or an organizing role, you just there to consume knowledge and to interact. It's a completely different experience, So, Malay, well, thank you very much for coming by. I appreciate it. And we'll have more conversations soon. Were you going to shake my hand? Okay.
Yeah, sure. Thank you.
Thanks, guys. We'll talk to you soon. Bye-bye.